I can't find it anywhere.
And then my wife yells at me and she's like, "It's on the table." And then I've looked like 20 times and she goes and it just fucking spawns in her hand. Pisses me off, dude.
I swear they hide it and carry it with them so that they can make you feel foolish.
I wouldn't put it past her. I also wouldn't put it past myself from getting so flustered that I just completely overlook it.
Or for some reason, you're thinking of the wrong thing in your head, so you look at it 5 times, but you're like, no, that's not what I want. It's a different bottle.
I'm also the kind of person that has actively looked for his phone and gotten frustrated that he couldn't find it while on the phone.
Well, if you haven't done that, you must still be a child.
Yeah, I've done stupid shit. Like, I've literally been late to work because I could not find my car keys because I got up early and then, like, went and started my truck so it could, like, defrost. And, like, I'm searching the whole fucking house for my car keys when my truck is literally running, you know?
I still hate when you know you don't have to go to work, but then you wake up all groggy and you're like, oh shit, I'm late. You start getting up and getting quickly ready and screwed
Oh,
yourself after out of another hour of sleep.
Dude,
and you're so fucking jazzed that you can't go back to sleep because your fucking heart was pounding out of your chest because you thought you were late.
so I don't know what
Exactly.
I don't know what it is about my, like, sticking to various bits of technology until the bitter end. But I recently upgraded my phone, but my phone prior to the one I have now, for whatever reason, like there's like a time zone cutoff in Idaho. So if I go far enough north, I'm in a different time zone, even if I don't leave Idaho. And several times we have, like, gone to visit my old lady's folks or whatever, and then we come back, and my phone will change time on the way there, but not on the way back. And I don't fucking notice until I'm an hour early for work on Monday. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it.
So I would be so pissed if I showed up to work an hour early. I'm the type of person, I don't know if you've noticed, but time management is not really my strong suit. So I start work at 6:30. I will be clocking in at like 6:27.
Oh yeah, don't give them 1 minute more than what they expect because they're not going to give you one penny more than you expect.
I've straight up told my supervisor one time, I was like, I mean, no disrespect, sir. Like, I don't want to be here a minute longer than I have, than I'm obligated to be. I mean, I already work fucking 12 hours of shit, 12 hours a day. And you got people here that'll get here like an hour early, hour, and just fucking sit on their phone until it's time to start work. And I'm like, y'all are crazy.
I swear that that's like the culture here in Idaho. Maybe not like with the newest generation, but like the older generation, like all of the factory worker dudes that I know, they all show up to work like half an hour, 45 minutes early. And you know, they're mostly old timers, but you ask them like, "Why do you leave work so early?" And they're like, "Well, what if you get a flat tire on the way to work and you got to change it?" You know what I mean? It's like, "What are you are you early like 300 days a year on the chance that you might get a flat tire? Like, fuck it, I'll be late one day. Fuck all that, you know?"
Oh, I once had a boss who did have the mind frame of if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't bother coming in. And yeah, if you showed up late a couple times, they would easily fire your ass.
We had a
That's kind of the culture they have at Toyota because when they pay us good money, so they're like, they bare minimum, you just got to show up to work, don't be late. I'll still fucking be there 2 minutes early, clock in at 6:29. It's not because I'm being a pain. I'm just always running late.
Oh, Alec has joined us. All right, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Alec, are you gonna grow a handlebar mustache when you become a sheriff?
no.
I'm let down. I was really looking forward to you going full fucking Ramrod from Super Troopers.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
a
no, man.
handlebar. That's a porn stash, like Ron Jeremy. Handlebar is the one that gets that little curly Q at the end.
Danny, are you gonna do a porn stash?
No. I'm just going to keep my beard.
Either way,
Is a,
see.
is a porn stash the same as a push broom?
I think so.
I believe so, yes.
Just checking.
They're very similar. I think the push broom is more full, whereas the porn stash, you can let it get to that little bit of sideburn goatee style. You know, a beard without the beard.
You should bring back the Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. No,
just,
thanks.
just have Alec looking like fucking Hitler.
Hey man, Nazis are having a moment again.
Day one, he gets his badge. He's like, no, it's Charlie Chaplin. What are y'all talking about?
the new sheriff in town, boys.
Right.
Oh, no. That would be bad. I probably wouldn't last very long.
I
It's
don't
all
know
about
these
confidence,
days, man.
I know you might
You are
fit
in
right
Florida.
Fair points.
in. Oh, look at the new guy. He's got some fucking cojones, dude. You never know. You next thing you know, you're fucking chief of police down there.
They'd demote him. He'd quickly be relegated to something along the lines of like meter Nazi or something. Well, anyways, since we are thusly assembled, boys, let's get this show on the road. Last session began as the Sands of Justice reconvened just outside the Port Noble barracks and dungeon. Blade, in an attempt to rescue his childhood friend Venrir from the hangman's noose, heads back to his family manor and estate with the party in tow. Here they find Helena, Blade's human mother, somber, a bit drunk, but nonetheless happy to see her son. It is through her much is revealed, Blade's true identity for one, Blaine Arnault. Much of his backstory and even a bit of the family's local history and troubles. Blade's father's recent promotion and position is mentioned, and before seeking him out to inquire about what awaits Venrir, the party graciously accepts some of Helena's hospitality in the form of a feast and a place to stay for the evening. After a bit of reconnecting and bonding, a few nighttime rituals and spells occur, both buffing the party for future adventures, as well as providing a bit more info about some of their long-term goals, and following some much-needed rest, some with fitful dreams, some not. The party awakes the next morning within the Arnault Manor, and that is where we are now. So, you guys have all had your evening's rest, stuffed to the gills with not only a feast, but an epic round of desserts magically crafted by Logos. You guys probably still a little stiff from all of the intaking of delicious foods and boozes. And, as you guys kind of reconvene in the Arnault Manor, you all notice right away the elephant in the room. Renwick's tentacle hands seem to have returned to that of a normal halfling. However, one of his eyes is slightly larger than the other and yellow. It seems to be darting around the room, looking at this and that, against Renwick's will. His eye seems to have a will of its own. And from here, I will turn it over to the party. How do you guys proceed? The smell of fresh coffee and bacon kind of wafts from the dining hall.
Um, I don't know if it's rude or not, but is anybody else noticing what the fuck is going on with Renwick?
I mean, you don't have to talk to me like I'm, or talk about me like I'm not right here. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. It seems like I've curried even more favor with my patron. I'm not sure whether that's to my detriment or not, but yeah, I got my hand back. That's kind of nice. And like, I wonder if I can still. And then he like flexes his palm, and you see the blade of his rapier start to slowly extend out of his palm, and he goes, "Well, that's good to know that that still works, but I'm not really sure what to do about this." And he's just pointing at the eye.
Is it your normal? Is it? Does it hurt? Like I I
Can
don't.
you see
Did it hurt
anything?
when it happened? Yeah. Like, is it
I,
your
I,
eye?
I, I was asleep. I mean, the dream felt real. It was as if I was there, and then 1 second everything went dark, and I woke up, and my hand felt normal, and I don't know. I suppose I'm a little sore from it. And he like kind of like moves the eye around a little bit. You can see it's like just slightly larger than it should be. He goes, I can see out of it. Covers the other eye. It's like it's rather strange. I'm fairly certain that the Kraken can see just about everything I can see through this. I suppose it's a side effect of the connection getting stronger. Sort of the curse manifesting in a different way.
Well, bear with me. I want to try something, and I'll just poke Renwick in the eye, see if it hurts him.
I'm gonna try to dodge that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an attack roll against Renwick there, Logos.
I just pulled into my house, so it works out. Hold on. An attack roll against Renwick. Just straight modifier,
Unarmed
right?
strike.
Unarmed straight. It's a 21 to hit.
22 AC, motherfucker.
Ooh. Renwick sees your finger coming towards him, possibly still stained with the greases and the maybe a bit of frosting from the epic rounds of foods and desserts from last night. he swiftly dodges your incoming probing finger.
It's for science, Renwick. I'm not trying to. We need to see. Maybe if I hurt the eye, it'll hurt the Kraken.
You know, that's a fair point. Let's see here. And he tries to poke you in the eye with a 19. Oh, wait. Is anybody else around me? Within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, you guys are all kind of in the same general vicinity for sure.
Damn. If the two of us were alone, I could have used my my swashbuckler feet and
It don't
rolled with
matter. I
advantage.
don't have high AC, and 19 hits.
A 19 hits you? What the fuck?
Yes, dude, I'm very squishy. I have
So
low health and low
you
AC.
go to poke Renwick, and he just kind of like turns his head to the side, slow motion. Your hand goes right past the bridge of his nose, and in that moment, he just pops you right in the eye.
Did you fucking Spider-Man me?
Oh, turns out my reflexes might have benefited from this as well.
Uh, it's good to know. Logus goes to get some coffee. Fucking eyes all watery.
Has anybody seen our head of merch? Something tells me he might be able to whip me up something to cover this up. I don't necessarily want everybody knowing that I've got a magical eye now.
Well, with that big ass eye, can't you see him?
Oh, it's not really a scrying eye.
Uh, I really don't know what you did to piss off the Kraken, because I mean, at least I've heard of maidens interested in the tentacles of octopi and squid. So you might have found one of them. I've yet to hear a woman say that, "Ooh, that Quasimodo eye just gets me going."
Well, hence the reason I'm looking for an eye patch there, asshole.
Logus, just go tear up one of your old underwear thongs and let him wrap that.
I can. We can do this, and Logus will like pull out. He's got some fucking old clothes, traveling clothes that he would just kind of rip up the sleeve a little bit and kind of fashion like a like a fucking whatever the fuck it's called, an eye fold, eye cover, put it around his head. Well, it's not a patch; it's a full like.
Yeah, it's more like as if it was an injured eye, like you medically wrapped it kind of thing. I know what you're going for.
I'm thinking like the guy from 300. If anyone can picture that, but yeah, just kind of give him a cover for his eye for the time being.
Yeah, I'll throw it on and plan to commission a fancy eye patch later when we meet back up with our merch man.
And I'm doing this for you because I think it's fucking weird to look at. I know.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Hey,
Trust me. It's real weird to look in the mirror and see a different eye staring back at me.
it's almost like you have a lazy eye sometimes because it just has a mind. Like I guess it's doing its own thing, so you look really funny.
Sean, is the eye like does the eye do its own thing, or is the Kraken just able to see, but I still have full control of the eye? Just so we know whether or not this is a canon situation of me having a random wonky eye that just does whatever the fuck it feels like.
From what you can tell, it's a little bit of both. For the most part, you have full control of the eye. However, if something comes along that strikes the Kraken's fancy, it can take possession of your eye and stare off in different directions.
Okay, so the eye hasn't been it's functioning like my normal eye as far as the party's concerned, so that's good to know. But yeah, it's definitely like I wouldn't say I picture it as like a massive eye. It's just ever so slightly bigger, but it is like yellow. It has that same kind of odd pupil shape that the Kraken has. Um, like almost like oval. It's a stark contrast to his normal eye. But yeah, he'll pop the wrap on and just say, "Well, that'll be good enough for now. Not really sure what to do about this. Don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, so business as usual. Weirder things have happened."
I see. Anyway, in further news, the good news is that we don't have the blue hands to worry about anymore. Those mages are no longer in the competition. I decided to do a little snooping. Ended up spying on this silver knight hammer dumbass. And they had just finished killing them and burying the bodies. So, I mean, yay.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, no complaints
I
there.
I can't help but feel like I might have been partially responsible for that, but One less team to deal with in the long run.
Why would you be responsible for that?
I may or may not have been stirring up a little trouble between all the different factions. Just seeing if I can't keep the tensions high. Angry people make stupid choices.
I think he succeeded on the angry part. Don't know how stupid the choice was yet, though. But it does bring up the issue that they seem to must have anti-magical capability. So some of spells may be less likely to work. Or they got the jump on them and were able to attack them unexpectedly, I would say.
Well, it's good to know that we should be aware that we can't necessarily rely on magic in their presence.
So, Blade, what time do you want to go see Daddy?
Oh, Renwick, I'm not sure if I told you. I squared on your dad last night, and he was just doing paperwork.
Really?
Well,
You.
he's
Oh
become
yes,
quite the busy
Blade,
man.
you're dead. I forgot.
I was gonna say you cried on my dad. Well, I mean,
Hey,
he's just running the Crooked Cox. He's got a whole franchise going now. Sure, he's
scried on
living it
all
up.
your dads, except Gladier, obviously.
Spying on the wrong guy.
I sprang on him. He's doing well in the Shadow spell.
Yeah, Blade. I squared on your father. He's just in a room doing paperwork.
Anything? Could you see any of the paperwork? Anything? What he might have been signing or doing?
The one that I was able to see seemed to be that there was some kind of deal made with the previous king, and he was signing to debating whether to bring that deal over. Does that carry over if the king dies? If you make a deal with the king and the king dies, are you still upholding to that deal?
Hmm. Sounds like the kind of stuff you'd be into. Any way to exploit others, you know? Anyways, yeah, I figured maybe we could go see my father. Maybe after breakfast, or after hitting the town, or doing whatever you guys need if you guys are all set.
I'm sad. I think we did our shopping when we first got to town, and we haven't done shit since. So
Do you not? I believe your mom has had breakfast made. Maybe we should pop in before we head out.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe she can give me a little more insight.
Okay, yeah, certainly. As you guys kind of make your way through the manor down these long, extravagant hallways, you make your way to the dining hall. And as you enter, there seems to be a spread laid out, typical breakfast foods, lots of various beverages, juices, coffees, teas, and as you enter, one of these cooks, one of these recently hired servants, gives kind of a silent bow and gestures to the table as you guys kind of make your way over. They begin, it's one of those situations where you just kind of request what you would like. They fetch everything for you. They fill your mug, one with orange juice, one with coffee, one with tea. You want for nothing and barely have to reach for any of it. Silver platter and all.
just put some gravy with a side of bacon, crispy. Thank you.
Right away, sir. He fetches your a meal, takes some of the bacon into the kitchen briefly to sear it, making it extra crispy. It's not long before Helena returns, and she, as elegant and aristocratic as she had looked before, she looks rough. She is in a disheveled nightgown. Her hair is askew. She has a bit of smeared makeup on her face. She does not make eye contact with any of you. She just kind of makes her way to the table, sits down, snaps her fingers a couple of times, and servants begin to jump and bring her various breakfast foods. And with her eyes closed and one hand on her forehead, she lets out a bit of a sigh. And as they bring her coffee and tea, she snaps again, points to her coffee, and another servant comes in with a bottle of spirits and adds a good portion to her coffee. As she sips it, she sits in silence, eyes closed, head hung low, holding it with one of her hands.
Blade will probably go up and get some breakfast. Maybe grab just a couple of things, maybe some bacon if it's there. Sit right down next to his mom at the table and just kind of like, mother, how you doing this morning?
Ah, son, not so loud, please. She gestures for you to be quiet with one hand while holding her head with the other.
Long night?
Indubitably. Son, explain to me this. Why are there a bunch of paws at my dinner table?
Whores? These are my friends. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be here without them.
Again, not so loud. What do you need, darling? Do you need a loan? Are they here to burgle us as well?
Mother? No, they're not here to burgle us. We came down to grab some breakfast and we were gonna head out to see father.
Well, try to be quiet. Mother's got a smashing headache, and give your father my most loving regards. She says it almost venomously.
Ugh. All right, mother. Well, enjoy your breakfast. Blade will, I guess, grab his plate and maybe move over down closer to his party and kind of sit down and be like, "Well, she's awfully, I guess, in a bad mood. Please, don't take offense to her. Uh, she's a little different in her ways of thinking, and it's just the way she's been brought up."
It's called being hungover, Blade. We've all been there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm used to most people being mean drunks. Your mom's quite the opposite. She's rather wonderful when she's drunk, but I
Yeah,
She
she'll come around.
forget all about meeting this? Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I started cutting you off.
That's it. Yeah, she just, I guess, forgot all about meeting us, huh?
Yeah, must have been maybe some of that wine that she had. Things tends to blur together if you've had enough to drink. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, my mother loves, a good glass of wine and whatever. She'd like to enjoy it quite a bit, but this is way more than I've ever seen her drink before. This is alarming for me. And I mean, you know me, I can drink a lot.
Well, unfortunately, I believe your mom has the gone to the other side, where it is more physically painful to be sober than to be drunk.
You think so? I guess I never really thought of it like that. I mean, yeah, I guess after all that she was talking about with Roderick there and not him being around and being alone, and this is a prison, I'm sure. She's probably drinking so much just to escape whatever it is she doesn't have here.
A glass sails across the table and smashes against the wall near your head, Blade. And your mother, in a fit of rage, snaps her fingers and demands another cup of coffee. She says, "First of all, you're sitting at my table. I can hear you, you twats. Second of all, he is your father, Blaine, not Roderick." The servants pour her another glass of coffee and spike it with a healthy dose of spirits. I would suggest that perhaps you and your playmates take this outside. And she calls over to one of the servants. She's like, she whispers, but it's almost like a stage whisper, easily caught, especially by the keen ears of Logos. She mumbles something along the lines of, "Make sure that none of them take any of the silverware with them."
Jesus. All right, Mother. Well, we'll be off then.
This is for sure pocketing a fucking butter knife or something.
For sure. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Please pass it.
You know what? I'm gonna retcon that. My sleight of hand's not as high as I thought it was. I don't want to embarrass
Nah,
my.
you gotta roll.
All right.
Go for
It's canon, man.
I
Let's just hope
rolled.
that the
Okay.
hangover makes her less perceptive.
Okay. I rolled a
Can I give
4 on
him
the
some
die.
inspiration?
Yeah,
Oh,
certainly.
thank God.
And I'll
All right.
yell it. Uh, I'll just maybe like yell out and just kind of be loud with it. Be like, "All right, my friends, let's go on out. Don't forget to take anything if you want."
What's your inspiration die now?
I think it's a D12.
Okay. Okay. It brings it to an 18 total. I rolled a 9 plus 9 on the inspiration.
Okay, I'm going to make a perception check with disadvantage. With disadvantage, that is a 3 on the die. So yeah, easily done. You fumble a silver spoon into your pocket, and nobody seems to be any the wiser.
On the way out, Renwick just walks by, and when he gets to the section of the table with Blade's mom, he reaches in bag of holding and pulls out a bottle of the Fey wine and just says, "Grew up in a tavern. A little bit of hair of the dog always helps." But he sets the bottle down just a little too hard, intentionally to make it loud, and then winks and walks off.
She grimaces at the loudness, but as you kind of set the bottle down, she hands you her plate of half-eaten food. Thank you. That'll be all.
Renwick goes to reach as if he was going to take the plate for her, and then just pulls his hand back at the last second and walks off as it falls.
It definitely clatters to the ground. She sucks her teeth. Good help is impossible to find.
As we're walking out, Locris is going to use Mage Hand, take the hat of vermin, and just dump 3 rats into her lap.
She freaks the fuck out. She begins, not only does she jump back from the table, she begins hurling various dinnerware, breakfastware, pot of coffee. She's commanding at the servants. She's standing on the chair, pointing at them. Get it! Get it now! Get it out of my dining room! You're all fired! Every last one of you!
I don't know that I'll be invited back in, Blake.
Maybe not.
That's
Um,
fine. She'll forgive us by the time she gets to the bottom of that bottle of Fey wine.
let's hope.
I'm sorry if we were terrorizing your mom a bit there. I just don't take kindly to classist people.
It's it's tough. I mean, I wish you guys could have seen who she was, you know. This isn't really her. There's something wrong. And I think it has to do with father, personally. Or Roderick, as I kind of yell back into the house.
You hear something else slam against the wall, something glass.
Oh, don't worry. She'll forget this morning by this evening, so carry on.
Yes. Perhaps we should go see my father. And I guess Blade will kind of like start leading the way. Because I'm trying to remember. So he lives in kind of like, was it one of like the courts? Is that it?
It seems your
No.
father has been spending a lot of his time bouncing between like the official royal magistrate court and the Bank of the King. He seems to be doing a bit of work for both branches of this, like both of these governmental branches. So
Hmm. Let me see. Logos, you said it looked like he was doing something with papers involving maybe transferring some sort of, I guess, things from one, the reign of the king. You know what I'm saying?
It was most definitely admin work of some sort. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a king and he's making decisions on behalf of the king. I mean, odds are if they're more than likely at the castle or wherever the king resides in this place.
Mhm. So maybe the court might be the best. I mean, either way, if he's not there, we're just gonna go to the other. So yeah, Blade will kind of like turn and start making his way towards the kind of the court.
okay, you guys make your way down this long, winding road full of estates and manors that kind of leads up back to the city of Port Noble proper. After a short walk, you navigate some of the city streets, the cawing of seagulls, the hustle and bustle of the city, the crashing waves in the background, and you make your way to this magistrate building. It is tall, trimmed in gold, and these marble pillars kind of flank the entryway as you guys go up these several flights of stairs to get to this entrance. A few guards flank the entrance, but people seem to be coming and going. Mostly nobles. It would appear to be, some scribes as well. But you do make your way into the building and up to this like front desk kind of lobby area. And an elvish woman kind of looks up and greets you happily. She smiles. Not every day we get some famous lots in here. So, what will it be? Would you like to file a complaint, perhaps purchase or trade a bit of land? Where could I direct you?
Well, we're looking for a little bit of direction here. We're looking for my father, Roderick Arnold.
Her eyes kind of go wide, and she's like, oh. Well, certainly. You're wearing that. Okay, this way. And she begins leading you guys down these long marble corridors and offices, up a flight of stairs, down through like the western wing, and eventually she leads you guys to. You guys see several offices on the way by, but she leads you to one office in particular. This office, unlike the others, seems to be flanked by a set of guards. And as she approaches, she tells one of the guards, please tell Mr. Arnold that his son is here to see him. The guard kind of takes a quick look at Blade and then back to the clerk, nods, and with a set of keys unlocks the door and enters and announces your guys' presence formally. Master Arnault, it would appear the young Master Blaine is requesting an audience. And you hear like a gruff mumbling. Yeah, send him in. Then the guard returns to his station, door open, and the clerk gestures to you. Have a nice time. I've got other matters to attend to. She gives you a low bow and then returns down the way she came. As you guys kind of enter this office, it is floor to ceiling, just file cabinets. And they either appear to be gold or maybe gold plated, you're not sure, or maybe it's just paint, but almost everything in this room looks to be made of gold. The desks, the file cabinets, several scribes with parchments tucked under their arms are either pulling things from these file cabinets or placing them into the file cabinets. There's one of those like large rolling ladders that kind of drifts around the room that you would typically see in a library with extra tall shelves. Several of these scribes are running about. And in the center of this room is a large golden desk with a golden chair, and on it sits Roderick Arnault, this elven noble. He has spectacles. He appears to be writing something on some parchment. His desk has a rather large in and a rather large out pile of parchment that the scribes seem to be tending to. Sometimes they're dropping things off, sometimes they're picking things up that he's already dealt with. Aside from him scribbling on this parchment and turning pages variously, there is also a rather large golden abacus at his desk, and he occasionally flicks a bead from one side to the other as he looks up, licks his finger and turns the page. And as you hear the scratching of ink on the parchment as you approach, he does not look up. He does not look away from his duties, but he simply kind of calls out, my dearest son Blaine, finally you have given up gallivanting and decided to invest in yourself and a career. I don't know if we have any openings now, but I could probably find something for you. And at that moment, he tears his eyes away from the parchment and glances at you. He sees you adorned in your adventuring gear, accompanied by your party, and the look of utter disgust is not hidden whatsoever, as he rolls his eyes hard and continues to his work on whatever parchment he is scribing things on. I can see that is not the case. What do you require of me, Blaine?
Nice to see you too, Father. Glad to see you're doing well. You're obviously busy.
Much too busy for this conversation. What do you want from me, Blaine? I am rather busy, deciding the fate of the kingdom and all. Would be nice if, perhaps, I don't know, an heir to my grand estate gave two flying fucks about any of this. But, yeah, alas, I'll do it alone.
Well, speaking of fate, a big reason why we're here is because of Venria, Father. Apparently you're accusing him of murder.
And rightly so. He slew Ruth while burglarizing our home. Damnable little halfling.
Slew Ruth? You know she was just a giant ball of muscle. Godfather, she was a menace to anything. She was threatening. Like, he might have broken into a house, but it's Fenrir. I'm sure there was a reason why.
Scratches on paper. He dips his quill into the ink. Continues. So have you just come to complain about justice being served to criminals, or do you have a point?
Well, Father, first of all, I'd like to see him released.
He sets the quill down. He adjusts his glasses. He looks to you and clears his throat. We haven't spoken in months. You've all but abandoned your family duties. And the first thing you do is come in here and ask me to release a murderer back onto our streets? What? I knew that perhaps you held no love in your heart for Ruth, but I underestimated your shallow callousness. He robbed our family home and slew your nanny, and you would have him freed? I do not recognize you as my son. You are a disgrace.
Father, speaking of abandoning, look at Mother in her prison over there. God, she looks terrible and constantly drinking. You have no right saying that I'm abandoning family. It is you that has abandoned family. Venria, he's the only one him and Darius are the only ones that really took care of me outside when I left home. God, you guys probably didn't even notice.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check there, Blade.
There we go. Nat 20 for 37.
Oh, goddamn. He goes for like this stoic kind of pose, but you do notice his lip quiver ever so slightly. Your words have wounded him. And as expected, he begins to lash out. Did you ever think, Blaine, that maybe your mother drinks because her only child abandoned his post, abandoned his family, goes gallivanting off looking for adventure, while, dare I say, not only risking his life unnecessarily to perform what he thinks to be heroic deeds, but in all honesty, are you not just gallivanting about with some of these, dare I say, miscreants? He gestures to the rest of your party. Or perhaps am I mistaken? Have you done something grand in your adventures? Have you done anything besides invest in selfish endeavors? A bit of whoring, from what I hear. And, not to mention, this came across my desk this morning. And he throws a piece of parchment at you, and it lands firmly, and you grasp and take a look, and it is in fact a warrant for your arrest. So don't talk to me of failing my duties. Perhaps if I had, a worthy heir to help me shoulder the burden, we would all be better off for it. These problems of our family stem with you slacking and avoiding your duties, not me and mine. It is not my fault that the king sought me out to sort out his affairs. Do you know what I'm doing right now? I'm deciding the fate of the kingdom. If it is not done here and now, people will starve. Lines will obscure, there will be fights, there will be potential wars, nobles on nobles, factions on factions, pure chaos, and I am the only thing holding all of that together. Now, you come to me asking for this criminal to be freed. What am I supposed to think? And granted, I've kept quite close tabs on you, unbeknownst to you. Blade, silver string, and the few noble deeds you have actually managed to do in the realms of Daanal Wisech. You've managed to do them under an alias. In the rare instances you do something incredible and noble, do not even have the common decency to tie it to the Arnold name. You have this fakeness, this fraud that you're enterprising about as. No, Blade, I do not think I like where this conversation is going. And it is not my shortcomings, it is yours that have caused our families this ill.
My shortcomings. That's rich, Father. I mean, sure, it wouldn't be any of your fault because you were never there. Never there for Mother, never there for I. Yes, sure, I left. But what was there for I there? There was no indication that I was going to be left any sort of inheritance or sort of ability or will to join this, whatever it is that you're doing here. But I had people that I talked to that would actually engage with me. As much as I love Mother, she would not engage. She was off in her own little fairy well, tail land, just something different. Almost like she was under a spell, and I had to get out because I was choking. And as far as another name, sure, the far few deeds that you claim that I did under a different name, should have brought them to the Arnold family, right? Well, with the Arnold name comes a distaste and can land a bad taste in people's mouths, Father. I don't know if you know this, but we're not exactly the most, esteemed family in all of Terna, or even Daanal Wisech.
Go ahead and give me another persuasion check. This one with advantage.
Oof. 25.
I like how that's an oof. Oh, sub 30. Huh.
Lame.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that you weren't given enough, Blaine. But I try very hard to ensure that the success, not only my success, but the family's success, is that of generational success. And, well, while we might have been in the competition for the most renowned nobility in Tirna and possibly Daanal Wisech, we are not any longer. I've sold many assets, traded others, acquired even more. You see, until the tournament finishes, I am the right hand of the king. A king who is comatose, unable to even open his eyes, lift a hand, say a single word. I, alone, am running this entire country from multiple offices. Orphanages receive food at my behest. Farmers, their seeds, the deliveries to the shops, to the merchants, to the blacksmiths, to the artisans, not only what they need, but what they sell. Everything, every receipt, every contract, every possible branch of the government. I am running myself here. And yet, it is not enough to please you. You would come in here and hurl insults at my feet. Blame me for what is obviously your own shortcomings. Maybe I could have given you a pat on the head or shown you a bit more affection, sure. But I was busy building you a legacy worth grasping. And rather than even try, you spit at my feet and flee. Flee from your home, your duties, like a coward.
I don't see any cowards here, except for you, Father. It seems like you're escaping Mother. I don't know what's going on between you two, but it's not good. And speaking, I mean, I'm not going to discredit what you've done for the government around here. You've done a lot. You've given to the orphanages, like as you said, and I'm sure donations everywhere have, certain places have received help from you. But Father, I mean, you're about ready to give your wife over to our lawn care guy. For God's sakes, she's so lonely there.
With that,
You're gonna lose her.
he clambers. Everyone out. And all of the scribes immediately drop what they're doing and flee for the door. The room quickly empties, and the door not only shuts but locks behind them. This is the gardener, you say?
More or less. Nothing's happened, Father. I can tell that from my insights, but it's not looking good. I mean, the gardener's oblivious as hell. He has no idea, but I've seen the way Mother looks, and she's lonely. It's not just him. It would be if it was a man outside painting the wall or flying a kite, doing whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Shoveling shit. I'm sure she would still be staring the same.
Give me
You need to go back.
Give me one final persuasion check there, Blade.
One d6.
You can see he does look troubled. He wrinkles his brow and removes his spectacles, rubs his temples for a moment. I suppose it is possible that I have neglected your mother for longer and more often than normal. And I would thank you for bringing this to my attention. Now, to the matter at hand. Venrir is due for the gallows 2 weeks after the tournament concludes. I personally do not see fit to amend this judgment whatsoever. However, if you could bring me proof that Venrir did not murder Ruth, I would accept it wholeheartedly, and I would allow the minuscule punishment of burglary, a few months in the dungeons, and perhaps some hard labor, but I would amend his death sentence and proof, any other proof other than the halfling's testimony himself. We all know that lot tends to lie when they get in trouble. He kind of stares off for a bit, given like 1,000-yard stares. He kind of ponders a few things. So, let me ask you this, Blaine. If, and only if, you win this tournament, the Sands of Justice is victorious, what do you intend to do with the rights to the crown? Would you keep them, claim yourself king, or would you bestow them to another? And if so, who?
Well, you got me there, Father. To be honest, I wouldn't really know. My first instinct would be to hand it off to someone of the right attitude and, the will to fix this great, country of ours here. But also wearing a shiny crown is also appealing. Kind of jabbing at him a little bit.
Perhaps how would you go about deciding who would be worthy? If not you, then who? One of them. He gestures to your party.
I mean, these people are the ones I trust the most. Like I've told Mother, and I'm telling you now, without my friends here, these, the sense of justice, I wouldn't be here, Father, speaking with you. And as much as you may think that, yes, that, oh, I'm abandoning the family and, oh, get out of my sight, you would be troubled if I was dead. And to them, you owe a thanks.
I suppose you are correct. Placing all of my eggs in one basket. You are the fruit of my loins, and therefore the rightful heir to the Arnold estates and the family fortune. It is not that I think you are bad at what you do, Blaine. It is simply that what you do is not worth doing. We have an empire here, and it all could be yours, and will be if I have a say in it. The only monkey wrench in all of my plans is, in fact, you. If I acquired this crown and bestowed it upon you, would you accept it? Or would you, again, flee from your responsibilities, flee from our family line, flee from the people of Tirna? What would you do if the crown was mine to give and I placed it upon your head?
Well, if it took me being the king to stop these false accusations that I'm sure others didn't, crimes people didn't commit, then sure, I would wear the crown. Because I'd want there to be true justice. There's more to, this kingdom than what's inside these walls here that you're in. And there's a lot more going on outside of out of Tiana. Many things that are happening that, if they do happen, Daanal Wisech itself will be destroyed, and there will be no crown, Father.
That is why I think you should take the crown, my son. If you and the Sands of Justice do not manage to win this tournament and acquire this crown, there are forces in play. It will be ours. The crown will be mine to bestow upon you. And I think I'm going to do just that. I will say, bring me proof that Venria did not murder Ruth, and I will let him go, free of all charges. Not even the burglary attempt will be stuck to his record. And if you cannot, you will simply have to amend his sentence when you are king. But like it or not, Blaine or not, you will be this country's next ruler. I will not take no for an answer. Or if I have to dig every coin out of every purse and empty every gem from every safe, you will rule what is left of this country. I will have it no other way.
All right, Father. All right. We'll play your game. But while I'm off doing my homework with Venria, maybe you can do a little homework as well. Maybe you can write off to this guy accusing me of, going to prison and asking for me. You could tell him to piss off.
I will see that your bounty is paid. The copper fist will haunt you no more. However, the slight will go against Blade Silverstring. Criminals are not allowed to participate in the tournament. So, you will have to bear your original name and title going forward, or you will be barred from competition.
You make that is a tough one, Father.
Why? Why is it so tough for you to bear your proper name? The name Helena and I bestowed upon you.
It's just like I said, Father. It's the Arnold name is, though noble, not in everyone's eyes. It's not. And government, we know, is corrupted. And a lot of things go on in the backgrounds here that I'm sure aren't the most just. And I don't want to be associated with that, truly. And if I'm to become king, then I would make sure that none of this would happen. Fine. I can pay this guy his toll, whatever myself, but the silver string name stays.
As you wish. He picks up his quill and dips it in some ink, continues scribbling on this parchment. You can pay your fine at the magistrate's clerk who led you to my office. If there is nothing more, I am plenty busy keeping our nation afloat.
Thank you, Father. There is one more thing. Where would one find this Ruth of ours? Where was she buried?
Ruth has been with us for a generation and a half. It felt wrong to inter her with all the other poors. She is in the family crypt in the back of our estate, laid to rest with all of our other superior servants, beasts of burden. couple of family dogs. Most of your ancestors. A rightful resting place.
Thank you, Father. And Blade will just make his way out.
He does not acknowledge you further. He continues scribbling on his parchment.
Yeah, Blade will just kind of like head out past the group, kind of just straight faced. You can tell he's a little peeved.
As you guys leave, there is like a line of scribes kind of like waiting outside. And as you guys exit, they're all like, "Ooh, okay, all right, back to it." And they all like slowly file back in, begin going about their duties. And the one of the guards is like, "Geez, kid, you got it rough. I thought my old man was a ball buster. Holy shit! I mean, good luck, you know."
Thanks. Yeah, I'm used to it.
So you make your way out of the offices, down these marble hallways, the scribes and nobles and these various other desks and clerks and whatnot, back to kind of like the main lobby where this elvish woman who kind of led you in the first place. I take it your meeting with Master Arnault went well. We didn't even have to call security, which, to be fair, happens most times whenever he gets a call. He's not very patient these days, but awful good at what he does. Anything else you'll require?
No, thank you. I appreciate the help. But please, can you tell me? I mean, does he ever leave this place? It seems like he's just buried in paperwork there.
Rarely. Very rarely does he ever leave. And when he does, it's oft for the Bank of the King. Your father is a busy man, and, well, to be fair, he's got a lot on his shoulders, from what I can tell, but not often, no. About once a week, perhaps.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm sorry. Actually, there is one more thing. Do you happen to have a piece of paper?
She smiles. She says, "Oh, yeah, several." Here, she hands you a blank piece of parchment, an inkwell, and a quill. And she also sets a wanted bounty parchment on the table as well. And perhaps you'll want to take care of this. I am supposed to file it the moment you leave the building, so...
Blade will take a look at the kind of the warrant there.
So essentially, Marcurio from Marcurio's Curiosities is accusing Blade Silverstring of fraud. A 5,500 gold piece discount was offered in exchange for a song in the middle of the last leg of the tournament, a song that was not delivered, and the total price of the fine is an even 6,000 gold pieces.
Jesus.
Excuse me, did he just come in and say this, or did he provide any proof that such a deal was made?
Give me but a moment. She turns to her desk. There's a few filing cabinets nearby. She pulls a few out and flips through a few files and then pulls one out. She says, yes, here is the report proper. And she lays it out, and it does entail that the Marcurio complained to the local officials shortly after the event had transpired, when he did not receive his proper advertisement, and that he provided some sort of proof to the Copper Fist. However, it is a bit vague on what that proof was.
I see. I just wanted to check because I had a cousin who once got scammed out of a bunch of gold by somebody accusing him of something that he did not do. So, dot I's, cross T's, that sort of thing.
Ah, yes. Well, while the Copper Fist has been known to be occasionally, she looks both ways, bloodthirsty mercenaries, they are also very thorough and rarely collect bounties that are unwarranted.
Oh my goodness. Whatever. We don't need any of this. Blade will pull out his pack and slowly just put gold pieces on the counter. Yeah, he's just gonna pay up the 6,000. Say, yeah, you can file this, whatever.
All right. Well, thank you for doing business with the magistrate of Port Noble. We are happy to restore your credentials as a squeaky clean citizen. And, unless there's anything else, this parchment, perhaps? You want to leave a note, or?
Yeah. Blade will take the quill and ink and paper, kind of go over to her desk and scribble something onto it, and then give it back to her and say, next time you see Roderick, tell him this is from Mr. Silverstring. And I'll kind of like put this like nice like cursive like S on there just so he like knows that it's going by his alias.
She kind of flinches when you say Roderick. She flinches a little bit, like, ooh, now, okay, yeah, Master Arnold will get the letter for sure.
Thank you. And yeah, Blade will just turn around against just kind of marching his way out.
And as you guys kind of leave this magistrate court and head back into the streets of Port Noble, it's still, we'll call it mid-morning. The sun is out, the warm sun on your skin, kind of almost a welcome reprieve from the cold, dark, windowless halls of this magistrate building. The gulls are cawing, the sound of the ocean off in the background, the hustle and bustle of the city around you. And tell me how you guys proceed from here.
Lucas is going to look at Blade. Say, if you wanted to write him a fuck you letter, I got this ink that has an imp that just does nothing but leaves cuss words all over paper.
Oh, I I didn't realize that. That might come in handy. Blade will kind of like as he's walking, turn and look at the group and just be like, everyone, I want to apologize. My father's a real dick.
No apologies necessary, Your Majesty. I mean, we should be used to basking in your glory. All hail King Blade.
Oh, thank you, my servants. Thank you. And kind of roll my eyes and keep walking.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I mean, you really gave it to him there.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it was probably just like watching a soap opera for you guys or soap play, whatever.
Oh no, it was fantastic. I enjoyed every second of it.
You really held your ground. I'm thoroughly impressed. Your dad's a real piece of work.
He is, and my God, I mean, to tell me that I abandoned the family, he's in there night and day, not even paying attention. Sure, he wants to upbuild the walls around this city, make them stronger, and have a name for himself and put the rightful king, but, behind him, his own family, he lets fall apart instantly. I'm a hypocrite.
Now, some people think they are making things better for others by controlling the outside while ignoring the inside. And guess what? It's an unfortunate reality of life.
A tale as old as time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just too bad, I never wanted to admit that, you know, my father and mother were as far apart as they were. When I was younger, I just always thought it was something that I was just perceiving wrong. But I think I have been perceiving it right this whole time. I thought he'd snap out of it and maybe come home. And maybe, who knows, if I become king, if someone becomes king, whoever the hell, maybe he will go home. But I doubt it.
Well, if you become king, you can order him home.
That's a fair point. Hell, I mean, if I became king and, the transfer of ill doings or crimes, I'd leave Venra of this crime. Anyways, I think we should go talk with Ruth. I mean, do you have abilities to do that, Lucas, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, I mean, you've seen my father, you've seen my mother, and I guess we better round it out with the trifecta here of seeing old Ruth. She's a real bore. I mean, I won't lie.
Well, they don't have to be entertaining conversation, just informative. As I'm not dealing with them directly, just kind of a shadow of who they were. But
Thank God.
I think you're definitely more of a Blade, because a Blaine is like them, so I have zero intention of calling you that besides to piss you off.
Yeah, Blade will kind of, chuckle and say, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that." I've kind of grown to the name, and you know, who knows? It's nice to kind of go around to a town and people knowing of the great Blade Silverstring, not Blaine Arnold of Noble.
All right, let's go talk to dead people.
Yeah, I will. I'll lead them back to the manor.
All right, you guys make your way back down the long trek, which you guys have already traveled once today, and back to the Arnold estate. The guards guarding the gates, see you. Oh, young Master Arnold, welcome home. Unlocks the gate and allows you guys access to the grounds. You venture over these kind of well manicured lawns and a few hedge mazes. There's a few statues and rose gardens. There's a few fountains where the birds kind of flit about and play. There's a gazebo, a stables. You see a few white horses prancing around. You guys make your way through all of this kind of towards the back end of the property. And as you guys approach, there is a very neatly kept white marble mausoleum. It's got the name Arnold above the entryway. There are these sconces as well as like incense holders and even like a couple of like braziers that seem to be made of like mostly ornate, fine materials. There's like ivory wrapped in gold and silver, and even a sparkle of a gem or some platinum here or there. There's a couple of benches. There's like a small, almost altar, like an offering place where you could offer up a bit of your respects in the form of maybe lighting a candle or a bit of an incense or leaving behind a small trinket or gift. But as you kind of approach this mausoleum, the stone doors are in fact closed. As you approach, there is, it looks like it's been recently manicured. There's a couple of shelves, stone shelves on the outside that contain a vase of fresh flowers. And tell me kind of how you proceed from here.
Blade will kind of walk up to these like stone. You said they're stone doors.
Correct.
Kind of come up to them, put his hand on one of the doors, and just kind of push it. And I'm sure it's probably not easy to open. Blade will turn to the party and just kind of say, this is probably where she lays, to be honest.
As you push the door, it would appear it is locked.
You got a key?
Well, I'm sure there's one laying around here somewhere. I'm sure Mother knows where it is.
Anyone, Ryan, wait to pick it. Just
I was
quicker
trying
that
to
way.
unmute. I was like,
Yeah.
Renwick just doesn't say anything and goes over and tries to pick the lock.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check to pick this lock.
That is a 22.
And with a audible click, the door unlocks.
And he just steps back and says, "All right, let's meet your friend Ruth."
Not friend. Definitely not friend. Then he'll make his way down.
You guys push open the doors, and a small flight of stairs leads you into a fairly well-kept room. There are tiles adorn the floors, stone walls and ceiling. You guys kind of make your way here, and you notice a few things. There's like it looks like several offerings have been kind of made here. There are a bunch of trinkets kind of laid up against one wall. Various trinkets. There's a couple of vases full of flowers that look like they have wilted and maybe been there for some time. There's some like incense holders. There's a couple of like stuffed animals, maybe like a stuffed teddy bear. There's just a bunch of like various trinkets kind of piled neatly in one of the corners, and there's also like a shelf for something proper. It's got a couple candles. There's as you guys enter, a torch on the wall just bursts to life, revealing the entire room. And as you walk up to this room, you realize that there is yet another set of stone doors. And in front of this stone door, there is like a small golden offering plate. It seems empty. And as you kind of approach, The a script slowly shifts and becomes legible on these doors. And it reads as follows: In order to protect the Arnault family and their secrets, a series of challenges lies before you. The script sweeps away, and vigorously, in Elvish, for those of you who read it, the words reform. You can put me on or cut me down, and I'm often under watch. And though you'll never say I'm found, you'll sometimes hear I'm lost. What am I?
Can you repeat it or drop it in chat?
Sure.
I was going to say, Renwick looks at the wall and goes,
Yeah.
Do you think you can repeat that?
For sure. It stays on the wall, though shifting and sparkling a bit. Clearly some sort of magical safety contraption. But again, it says, you can put me on or cut me down, and I'm often under watch. And though you'll never say I'm found, you'll sometimes hear I am lost. What am I? One more time for those in the back.
Renwick just says, time?
You can put me on or cut me down, and I'm often under watch. And though you'll never say I'm found, you'll sometimes hear I'm lost. What am I?
Do you think it's weight? You can put on weight. You can cut weight. You can watch your weight. You don't normally say you found weight, but you often say you lost it.
Yeah, I feel that.
I was wondering if it might be respect.
That makes a lot more sense. I'm not very good with
Well,
riddles.
I feel like you can say you found respect and lost respect.
You can put me up, you can cut me down.
You could put me on. You can chop me down.
This is one to ponder. I'll hit you with it again. You can put me on or cut me down, and I'm often under watch. And though you'll never say I'm found, you'll sometimes hear I'm lost. What am I?
Who had the first one?
As soon as he says it, I forget it every time.
I'll type it into chat if you guys want.
You can
Damn,
put me on and chop me down. I'm often under watch. I'm drawing a blank on the.
I'm looking at your two guesses, Renwick. I would say your second one. Because you find time. I found time to go to the store. I found time to read the book.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Logan's was right. You find respect. Found respect for somebody. and I got no other idea. So I vote wait.
Renwick just steps up to the wall and he goes, "Wait," and shrugs.
Just a cool, cold room. The torch flickers a bit.
Can he look for like a pressure plate or anything?
Sure, go ahead.
As if like maybe there's
Didn't he
something
say
that.
there was like the offering bowl sitting in front?
Correct.
Yeah.
Plate.
So the offering bowl. All right, so we have to put a certain number of coin in there, most likely, or something of value. And then he just turns around and looks at Blade, raises an eyebrow, because your boy's broke.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and hand him over a little bit of gold, silver, whatever.
That Arnault's showing, you know, when you, I was gonna give you gold, but here's some silver instead.
Yeah, it's cheaper. God, this is tricky.
I think Locris is onto something with the altar.
Yeah, I'm stumped.
So just take 5,000 from your piggy bank and put it on there. See what that does. Because if it is weight and they want gold, I doubt your dad would come visit family knowing he'd lose money.
I guess, yeah, maybe just to try it out, Blade will kind of grab a one of his satchels of gold because he's kind of loaded, and we'll put it down on there. Let's just say, yeah, 5,000 gold.
Damn, 5,000. All right. Okay, I'm gonna run through this real quick. Blade, does a dirty 20 hit?
No.
All right. Gladier, does
Jesus
a
Christ.
17 hit?
No.
Logos, does a 26 hit?
No. Yes.
Locris, does a 22 hit?
Thankfully, no.
Renwick, does a dirty 20 hit? No? Maybe? Yes? Dirty 20 to Renwick to hit?
Nope.
Okay, so...
Sorry, I was muted.
No worries. Only Logos manages to catch a good dose of this. However, putting the 5,000 gold pieces on this little offering tray, at first you hear click, and then a series of click, 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 and it sounds like perhaps something is unlocking. But then a shift in the concrete, grinding of stone on stone, and the entire ceiling and all of the walls reveal small holes. And the entire party is pelted relentlessly with ball bearings, flying out of the holes from every possible direction. You hear it clanging off armor, hitting the walls, hitting you. It is your armor and your ability to bob and weave that stops most of this damage from actually hitting too terribly bad. However, Logos, unfortunately, you are caught right in the middle of a crossfire from not only the ceiling but two separate walls. You take 40 damage from these ball bearings flying at ungodly speeds throughout the room, just tearing everything up. They're pounding into the floor, they're pounding into the walls, they're pounding into the ceilings. And as the barrage of ball bearings finishes, a small hole opens in the bottom of the floor, And like marbles, each and every ball bearing slowly rolls to this ever so slightly lowered center, and all of the balls file down almost like a drain. The grinding of stone continues, and all of the holes recover. You guys thoroughly pummeled, Logos most of all.
Oh, that didn't work.
Well, I mean, at least nothing bad happened, right?
Logus is just deceased behind you.
This guy's minding his own business in the back, and he's the one who'll get hit.
Logos, you receive not only several strikes to the head that cause you to bleed in various locations, but, I mean, you have welts from head to toe. You've been thoroughly pummeled by these balls.
I'm just gonna wait outside.
Oh, God, this is tricky. Of course. My family would have some sort of riddle down here. Put me on or cut me down.
Well, I wonder if it has to be a certain amount of weight. Maybe it was too heavy. Because, I mean, how would it tell what is in it so much as maybe you needed to click once or twice?
Usually there's something to tell you how many times you'd have to click it. I maybe we're getting hung up on weight and that's not the answer. We're looking past something else. I can never tell with these fucking things.
What can you put on, but you could put me on, but cut me down? A tree? Trees aren't being watched.
You can put me on or cut me down. I'm often under watch.
Well, it looks like we won't get to see the DM's fancy dungeon and your friend's properly fucked. Out we go.
Hang on. Let me double check some wording real quick. Um,
Is that code for Google? No.
uh, what is it? Opened. I'm going to pull out the time of opening and try a discharge on the door.
Ooh, smart.
Okay. I think that might work, but what? Just to be sure, what's the language of that chime of opening?
This hollow metal tube measures about 1 foot long and weighs 1 pound. You can strike it as an action, pointing it at an object within 120 feet of you that can be opened, such as a door, lid, or lock. The chime issues a clear tone, and one lock or latch on the object opens unless the sound can't reach the object. If no locks or latches remain, the object itself opens. The chime can be used 10 times, after which it breaks. It has 5 charges currently on it right before this use. If I remember when we looked it up about magic items, it's kind of DM discretion, but usually maybe works on the magic but not the lock, so you got to use it twice or.
I'll say if you are willing to utilize a charge of your chime of opening, it does, slowly but surely, grinding stone returns, and the door lifts slowly but reveals a small staircase leading downward into the darkness.
Hey, I solved it.
Good thinking. Good God. I don't know if I don't know if we could have survived another barrage.
What, did you get hit during that barrage? I'm sorry, you should have said something big. I would heal you for it.
No, not me. No, no, no. Much too agile.
I mean, I didn't get hits. That's what I carry a shield for. What about you, Renwick?
Not a scratch. I imagine it flashes back, and Renwick's just standing there, and all the ball bearings are just shooting slightly over his head.
Yeah, I think Logus, you kind of blocked all the ones that were hitting, going for me. So thanks for that.
What? I heard my name. Logus is outside.
Never mind. So
We're going downstairs.
I can hear you. I would have heard you walking. I don't believe you.
Logas, do you remain outside or do you continue with your party down these stairs?
Once I thought Locris was lying, but once I hear the footsteps leaving, I wouldn't look after him.
Excellent. A short flight of stairs later, a similar situation. A room pretty much barren, a door closed, a small offering plate in front. Several trinkets and various offerings have been laid here. A torch bursts to life as you guys enter the room. A few, there's some books and some like stuffed animals. There's some candles and some incense and a pot of flowers or two. And as you enter this room, a similar situation. The walls begin to shift. The words on the doors, rather, begin to shift. They come from plain granite stone and form in Elvish once again. I was born in the past, but I live in the present. Sometimes false, always personal. What am I? I'll hit you guys with that again as I'm typing it in the chat. I was born in the past, but I live in the present. Sometimes false, always personal. What am I?
Moment.
Memory.
Memory. False memory. Present memory.
yeah, I think that's. I would say memory. I think that's a good guess.
Say it in Elvish, one of you weird speakers, since it's written that way.
Okay. Hold on. I I took a potion of superior healing and got back 31 points.
Okay, noted for sure.
And I'm just gonna pop 3 little good berries just to get me back to full.
Okay, for sure.
And then after that, Logus will say memories and Elvis.
As you proclaim memories in Elvish, you wait a moment, and then a moment longer. Nothing seems to transpire.
Okay, well, that didn't seem to work. Maybe speak a memory. We're in an Arnold crypt, so I say the Arnold give a family memory.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's got to, I would think that it have to do something with the family. Family oriented, you know?
Do you perhaps have a family heirloom or something from your early life? Sean, can we roll like insight or anything to get like a feel for like is the door just looking for a word? Do we need another item? Is there another altar sort of situation?
Sure. I would. How about let's call it an investigation check as you kind of peruse over the door and the various offerings and belongings that have been left behind.
15.
I'll say a 15 is high enough that you are kind of, the various trinkets and offerings that have been left behind. There's some flowers, there's, like I said, some stuffed animals, some clay figurines here and there, a few pictures, a portrait of some, long dead Arnault family member. But one thing that catches your eye, Renwick, a small book titled Memoirs of an Arnault Adventure.
And he'll shoot a mage hand over and pick it up and have the mage hand bring it over to Blade.
As soon as he touches the book, Logus is ducking.
Logos has like a trauma response to like shit moving fast around him now.
Dude, I got absolutely fucking pelted, dude. 40 points of damage. It's crazy. It's like half my health.
Yeah, Blade will grab the book and kind of look at it, look at the cover, and then open it up.
You open it up. Some of the pages are faded. Some of them are actually missing. Some of them are illegible, lost to time. But several pages that you do read are, it seems to be various individuals writing about good memories. Some good, some bad. Just things that are memorable to them. As you flip through the various pages, memories seems to be the overall theme of this book. Memories from your ancestors.
Well, it seems that there's a theme here, and it's all memories. Memories of different Arnolds. Maybe that's it.
Alton Wright, what hopefully could be a good memory of the Arnolds.
I mean, so based around memories, I guess. Yeah, I guess Blade will just go up to it and just say memories.
Again, after a moment, nothing but the glow and crackle of this torch.
I think you gotta write a memory of your family into the book.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Um. Hmm. Like, could I look into the book and see, like, is there like space to write into it?
I'll say at the very end of the book, there are a couple of blank pages.
Um. I guess maybe so. Like, I know Renwick checked into it. So, but is there like, could I? I don't want to like ask for too much, but like, is there like way that I could get like more insight into it?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check as you kind of peruse this book.
21.
Oh, very nice. With a 21, you feel like whatever. Let's see. With a 21, you feel, regardless of whatever memory you decide to choose, it would likely have to be placed in the small golden offering plate in front of the door to officially count as an offering or an answer.
Oh.
I somehow missed the second altar, I guess, or the altar in the second room. Just put the book in the altar. That's the memories. I don't think you have to write in it. You just have to put the book there. We just had to look around and find the memories.
I'm thinking about this too literally. Blade will just take the book and put it on the plate.
And with the grinding of stone, the door slowly rises, revealing yet another staircase leading down into darkness.
Well, that was good. At least we didn't get pelted this time.
As you lot descend into yet another familiar room. Again, this room is lined with trinkets, various offerings, candles, incense, stuffed animals, small figurines, various trinkets and offerings. The room similar in every way to those prior. The smooth stone door blocks your way forward, and a small golden offering plate sits in front of it. Words in Elvish begin to shift on the door in front of you. I live without food, wound without force. I am harder to fight than to kill. What am I? One more time, just for those in the back. I live without food, wound without force, and I'm harder to fight than to kill. What am I? A torch bursts to life as you guys enter the room. All right, one more. One more time. I live without food, wound without force, and I'm harder to fight than to kill. What am I?
Fire, and we
Fire.
throw a candle.
There we go. Jesus.
Okay,
I'm
so
thinking fire.
you do you there is definitely some candles left in like the offering plate area. Do you light a candle and place it on the altar?
Mm.
Well, I'm looking at the others for thumbs up, thumbs down.
Renwick just shrugs.
You're
These
also
are hard.
shrugs.
I got it. Everybody back up. And we step back toward the stairway, light a candle, and I hand it to my zombie or my skeleton dude that walks around me and say, okay, now go put that in the offering plate. And just he walks across the room.
Logan starts pulling out a rope to throw up a magic pole.
Okay, as your zombie creeps across the room and places the lit candle on the offering plate, a loud hiss slowly begins to seep from all of the walls, and the entire room slowly fills with a green, acidic tasting, somewhat noxious gas. However, your zombie does not seem to be particularly affected by this, and for that part, the none of the party seem to be particularly affected by this noxious gas that seems to be leaking into the chamber as Logos's hero's feast from the nights before has made you all immune to the effects of poisonous gas.
Like,
No.
does your family have a history of like being grave robbed or something?
Jesus, you'd think so.
Blade, you would know that that's exactly why there are some security precautions. Port Noble is one of the few actual ports, and from time to time, pirate raiders from the Alliance Islands have been known to do a bit of grave robbing.
You know, Blade, you think you'd have some sort of key or something to bypass this baloney. God forbid you want to see your family.
I know. I mean, not that I
Have you,
want.
have you tried checking your pockets? Maybe they slipped a key or something.
Mm.
Didn't your mom give you a key last night when she was drunk, telling you you could go see her?
Key.
Or am I getting that wrong?
I remember. Oh, that does sound like faintly familiar, but
Oh.
what it? Hmm.
Have we looked around the room yet to see if we have any clues?
No, go ahead and give me like an investigation check as you kind of the poisonous gas slowly subsides, and you have a good gander around the room.
13.
There are just a wide variety of trinkets in this room. The poisonous gas seems to have left a bit of a residue kind of on the walls and the floor. And, aside from the various trinkets, I mean, there's a couple of books, there's some figurines, there's some stuffed animals, some flowers, a gold goblet here, a couple of silver, bits of dinnerware. There's it seems like what at first is presented as maybe like an offering. It seems like the more you inspect some of the stuff, it's like who would just leave a fork, or who would just leave like a golden chalice, like you could see maybe for like the monetary value, but these are weird things to leave behind in a crypt. Weird things to kind of leave behind in like reverence. Like you could see lighting a candle or maybe some incense or even like a small offering of food here or there. But it seems like there's a lot of random knickknacks, a bunch of random junk, really.
Can I just, I guess, do a sweep as well, just to see if I picked up anything
Yeah.
else?
Go ahead and give me an investigation or an insight check. I would even accept a knowledge history check. That DC is going to be a bit higher.
Can I? Let me do a history check.
All right, excellent.
Actually, I think I can self-inspire too. I think I can. I just want to make sure that I can. Uh, oh yeah, whenever I make a okay. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of like be looking around and just be like, play, think. Is there anything to inspire myself?
All right. Let's see what you come up with.
Man, not 20 on that.
Ooh,
I can go higher there.
very nice. Are you going to add some inspo to that?
27.
Avery giveth and Avery taketh away. I'll say with a natural 20 on a history check, you recall, maybe some sort of memory from, being a small child and maybe having a loyal family like dog interned into this particular mausoleum of your families, and You recall that there were almost always armed guards, a couple of priests, and a member or two of the Arnold family that kind of like escorted their way through this situation. And you do recall that the very last doorway, for whatever reason, you remember a priest placing a pocket watch, gold and shiny, onto the plate, and it opening the door.
Guys, remembering a little bit here, coming through here with my parents. And I remember someone putting a priest, maybe, I think, putting a watch on the plate here, a gold watch. Do you think it'd have to do with something with time? Can
It
Blade, like,
makes
look
sense.
around and see if there's, like, a watch or anything laying around and, like, with all these trinkets and baubles?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check as you fumble through some of these trinkets and baubles.
I'll help him.
Okay, do it with advantage. As you guys just begin, tearing through all of these trinkets that have been left behind.
17.
You do find a gold pocket watch. A little tarnished, but no longer ticking, but alas.
Blade will go over and be like, "It looked a lot like this. I'll see," and put it on the plate there.
And the door slides upward, not revealing a staircase, but a long hallway. And as you look down it, torches on either side begin woof, 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 coming to life, and a long hallway resides before you. As you kind of step forward into this crypt, it would appear, it's a kind of a tight hallway. It's only about 10 feet wide or so. And to the left and to the right are not really headstones, but plaques. And these plaques seem to have like handles, almost like a shelf, almost like how you would see in like a coroner's office or like a morgue. They are the final resting place of many of the Arnold lineage. And as this hallway begins to light up, you guys find yourself traversing slowly, carefully, cautiously down this hallway. And there is eventually, you pass, this Duke Arnold. You pass like a Baron Arnold, a Baroness Arnold. It's a wide variety of Blade's ancestors, but you do come across what would appear to be a loyal family butler, a royal horse, a handful of servants, and finally, at the end of this hallway, you come up to one of these slabs, one of these drawers, if you will, and the plaque reads, Nanny Ruth.
All right, I think this is it.
Yep, we definitely found her.
God, I mean, family must have really loved her to be down here, through all these traps. I guess, what do you say? Maybe we should give it a crack, huh?
Why don't you open it? And Lil Chris will take about 5 steps back.
Yeah, Renwick just pulls his pry bar out of his thieves' kit and passes it to Blade, and then goes over by Locris.
Yeah. So I guess Blade will, kind of look at the plaque, and I guess assuming that she's buried just right underneath it.
Yeah, it almost has like a handle. Rather than her being
Oh.
buried underneath it, she is just kind of interned. So like the plaque would be essentially where her feet reside on the other side of the slab of stone.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, Blade will, I guess, go ahead and use the the crowbar that Renwick passed over to crack it open.
And with that, it does take a bit of finesse, but you do crack the seal on this plaque, and the slab kind of slowly glides open, revealing what would appear to be a body underneath a very thin, like almost see-through but not quite, layer of silk. Like a silk sheet has been laid over top of this deceased body.
Blade will kind of gently, or just respectfully. I mean, although as much as like he's had bad memories with Ruth, he does want to like respect her and the family. But yeah, he'll kind of maybe take the sheet and kind of like peel it over, revealing her face, or what's left of her.
You reveal her face, and brings back instant memories. You see this wrinkled, kind of wrinkled but stern, older human woman. And as you kind of peel the sheet back a bit, she is impressively stout. As you are a half elf, it is quite possible that somewhere in Ruth's lineage she is related to dwarves. She's a bit shorter, but even in her old age, broad shouldered and muscular.
God, I mean, who would need a god if you had this beast around?
Say call it there so we can discuss off
Often.
camera. What 5 questions we're going to come up with so we don't waste the first 20 minutes of the next session doing that.
Sounds good to me, fellas. This will be a perfect spot for a bookmark. And
Yeah, sounds
this will
good.
be where we stop our tale for the time being. Also, just to be noted, this is probably going to be one of the last RP heavy sessions, depending on your actions, I suppose. But be ready to roll those click clacks from here on out, because we've been balancing it pretty well. But for the most part, I would surmise, depending on your choices, of course. But we're probably going to be pretty combat heavy from here to the end of our tale, fellas. So be ready, I suppose.
Oh
Alright.
shit!
Let's go kill some other teams, slay them
That's
so
what
you
you're
can
gonna
become
say.
king.
Let's go
What?
kill some other teams. I thought you were gonna say something badass.
Yeah, no, I was multitasking and I lost my train of thought. So I was like,
I
kill
thought
some
you
teams.
yeah, let's kill these motherfuckers. Like, no, let's go kill these teams.
Let's get it,
Respectfully.
guys.
All right, let's
You
see
open the
the
slab,
let's
and Gladier just goes for an immediate smite on this like dead old lady.
Yeah, you can never be too careful.
you
Yeah.
know how many times I've broken my oath as a paladin in Baldur's Gate because I fucked with undead shit.
I've never
So annoying.
successfully gotten a paladin through a campaign that didn't turn out to be an oathbreaker.
I've had to spend 2,000 gold, well, 1,000 two separate times to regain my oath. It's so
What
frustrating
was
being
the
a
answer
paladin.
to that first one?
You guys had it right. You guys just didn't. Amongst some of the junk, if you guys had investigated it, there was a small weight that would have been the answer to the issue. You guys
Yeah,
had
that
you
was our
guys had it
problem.
right.
We
You
just
guys,
weren't
so
looking around
close.
the fucking rooms.
Yeah, there was a handful of junk in each room. Yeah, but yeah.
We're just so used to like, oh, it's a riddle. Just say the word and the door opens.
Speak friend and enter.
Exactly. To be fair, you guys have so thoroughly whomped my riddles. I went and found some of the hardest fucking riddles I could find. I had about 10 of them, but I was only going to pick 3. But yeah, I had several riddles that were pretty fucking hard.
Well, damn, that makes me feel better that I did get the first one right. We were just too dumb to like press the button, basically.
You had the right answer, just the wrong delivery. Well, hell
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
fellas.
halfway smart.
Well, all my other riddles you guys nailed hard. Like between Renwick and
That's
Locris,
because
there was no shot.
I'm not
that's
normally
because
good
for
at riddles.
those
They fucking infuriate me.
Yeah.
for those we just had to say the word. You didn't give us step 2 of actually doing something with it.
I had to switch it up. I'm not gonna lie, it was gonna be a bunch of saving throws for shit that you guys weren't good at. I mean, mostly like psychic damage and stuff. Yes.
Oof. Yeah, that would have
I mean, I
sucked.
can't blame you for taking your shots where you get them. We're basically superheroes, so
Exactly. Well, I got Logos to drink one of the potions, one of the hundreds of potions you guys have at this point.
Hey, you fucked me up with those damn little ball days.
Logan's almost died.
Just leave him in
Dude,
the
40
crypt.
points of health for me is pretty gnarly.
Well, all right, guys. So I guess let's do this crazy thing again soon. Keep in touch. We'll fucking do this some more. Are we? I think Anthony's on days or nights, so we'll be a couple weeks out. I think, right?
Yeah, I'm on nights next week.
back to
We'll go
Maribor.
back to Miraba. Yep, we'll be back to Miraba so I could try killing you.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
All right.
I gotta roll.
Night,
So
boys.
take her easy. I'll see you next week.
All right. Catch you
Ladies.
later, guys.
Good night, team.